afternoon. Good afternoon from beautiful Miami. My name is Maryam Isa Al Ali Zastipel. I put God first. This is my story, and I have a purpose. I help others embrace their authentic self to serve a bigger purpose. Everything I do in my life, from the minute I wake up in the morning to the minute I go to sleep at night, is in service of something bigger than who I am.
Yes, and my name is Alexander Zastipel. My purpose is to bring out the strength in others so they can take full control of their life and gain all rights to their existence. Now, I have a question for everybody. Are you putting yourself first?
Let's go. So this is exactly what is going to be our topic for the next hour. So for those who maybe are new to this is a Clear and Conquer Live. We come to you guys every single Tuesday at 12 p.m. Miami. That's 8 p.m. Dubai time. So as Alex just put the question out there, do you put yourself first?
Do you put yourself first? Ask yourself this question, okay? And maybe you think, oh, well, that's not the way to do it. We're going to show you exactly why you should be putting yourself first. If you're not as confident right now, if you've been getting stepped on, if you have been just getting pushed around in life a lot because you never actually take the time to put yourself first. Maybe you're not in the best health you could possibly be, right? These are all some of the reasons why why you should be putting yourself first. But we're going to go through and actually show you why we have chosen to put ourselves first, okay? And even before Maryam, I put myself first, okay? So we're going to go through today and share with you the reasons why this would happen. But first, I want to define what putting yourself first actually means, okay? I want to define this for all of you guys. It is to cause oneself to appear to be, okay? A particular type of person. You know what that really means? It means being yourself. You guys don't allow yourself to be yourself because you're trying to please everybody else. You're trying to bend over backwards for everybody but yourself. You're a best friend to everybody except for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Maybe that's resonating with you. You're putting everybody else before you, and guess what happens to you, right? You get pushed around. You're not actually being yourself. You're trying to be someone else just to please everybody else.
And here's the thing, before we tell you why you should put yourself first, Alex and I, we had so many different situations in our life where we put ourselves last. And we think when we do that, it's because out of goodwill and, oh my gosh, we shouldn't be selfish. We should be caring about other people. And the thing is, it's amazing to care about other people and about their success. That's amazing. But again, if you don't put yourself first, you put yourself last, or you don't even put yourself you put everybody else ahead of you, you put your husband ahead of you, you put your children ahead of you, you put your manager ahead of you, you put your job ahead of you, you put everything ahead of you, and you put yourself last.
Yep.
You literally lower your own self-worth and your own self-value and how you actually perceive yourself. And in our today's session, we're going to be telling you why you should be doing that. I did it all my life.
Yeah.
I was putting myself last.
Yeah.
I know how it feels. Like, it's not a very good feeling. And sometimes you will put people first, but then they put you second. Like you treat other people like better than you treat yourself. And you're like, why nobody's treating me well? Well, because you're not treating yourself well. That's why.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. When I was about 15, 16, 17, I started hanging around with a different friend group, and they would always want me to do things that I didn't actually really want to do. But I felt like I wasn't able to make more friends, and I didn't really think highly of myself enough to not go and do those things. So I got myself into trouble at an earlier age, right? 15 years old, I started getting into trouble. And I would go and do things that based off of their ideas, what they wanted to do. Even though that I knew it was wrong, I would go and do it because I was trying to please someone else. I was not putting myself first. I knew that I should go and be doing other things. I knew that I should go be working on my business that I had. I had a business when I was 15, right? I knew I should have been doing those things, but instead I started putting other people before me, and I got stepped on. And those same exact people would ditch me, right? But I still hung out with them.
Yeah.
Why? Because I was putting them before me. And maybe you've been ditched before. Maybe you've been made fun of by your friends, right? Maybe you have been put down by other people. Those aren't your true friends. William produces this show. for us. Shout out to Wi-Fi for producing the show every single Tuesday at noon Eastern and 8 p.m. UAE time. He is a true friend, right? But he puts himself before us.
Right.
Okay? Like, to be very clear, he does the show, yes, but there's an exchange that comes out of the show, right? There's exchange that comes into our partnership. Anyways, he puts himself first, and it's very important for you to do so. Okay, I'm just telling you guys this because in my experience, whenever I didn't put myself first, I felt really bad about myself. I felt terrible afterwards. I didn't feel confident. I didn't feel good about myself. And you should just become very aware of this and start changing the direction of that.
Speaking of changing direction, what is the first step?
Yes, go. Yes, I can definitely go. So the first reason why it is so important to put yourself first is something very obvious, but you might not think about this. You live with yourself every single day, and nobody else does. Okay, you live with yourself every single day. What do I mean by that? Well, you're on this show right here. Who else is with you right now? Look, we are, you're there, and then some other people. Okay, when you go to the next thing, we're not going to be there anymore, but you are, right? Everywhere that you go, there you are. I learned this from my mentor, Grant, actually, and it was an aha moment for me because it showed me that I need to be in the most optimal condition because I follow myself everywhere that I go. If I make a mistake, if I have a win in my life, if Miriam and myself are winning together, I am there every single time. Think about this. Everywhere that you go, there you are. So isn't it a good idea to be at your optimal, operating level? Like you're confident, you're not getting stepped on, you're making decisions based off of who you are, you're living your purpose. You are also aligned with other people, but hey, you're living your life, right? Because you're literally with yourself every single place that you go. Guys, the people that have kids, the number one trap that I see you fall into is that you're putting your kids first. Let me ask you a question. What is going to happen when your kids are not around anymore? Who are you going to put first? You're going to feel empty. You're going to feel lost. You're going to feel without purpose because you had a false purpose, right? Now, your kids are extremely important. Let me just get that out of the way. 100%. They are extremely important. And they are going to benefit even more. They are going to benefit even more when you put yourself first. I promise 100%. That. Okay.
I actually help a lot of women, and they say, when I coach them, okay, they come to me because it's a business session or whatever it is, but then we get into family, we get into relationships, we get into careers and so on and so forth. And then they say, oh, Mariam, I had to sacrifice a lot for my children. I'm not looking after myself. I don't go to the gym. I don't look good anymore because I put my children first. And because I put my children first, I have to put my children first. Here's the thing though. What will happen to your children if you are in better health? When you are actually in a better health, when you are in a better mental state, when you are in a better emotional state, what's going to happen? You're going to even give more to your children. You're going to even help them more. There is nothing wrong with that. Maybe society tells us that, oh, she's a selfish woman. She's going to the salon, or she's looking after herself, or she's going after her career, or she's opening a business. Oh my gosh, she must be neglecting her children. It doesn't have to be that way. Wouldn't you want your children to be proud of you because you are someone who is successful? Don't you want your children to brag about you and say, wow, my mom is a leader, my dad is a leader, they are 10x. You know, they're doing all these big things, and I'm with them. Don't you want to brag about them, or do you want your children to say, "Oh, my mom is always angry. She's always throwing a fist at me. She's always, she's always screaming at me." Because I'm gonna tell you, when you don't take care of yourself, and you think you're taking care of your children, maybe you're not taking care of them the proper way. Feeding them, educating them is not enough. What is that bond between you and your children when you put yourself second? When you don't value yourself, guys, end of the day, when you don't put yourself first, you put yourself last. Because the minute you allow someone to cut in the line, you allow another person, you allow a third person, and then without you knowing, by the passing years, you're putting yourself last. I put myself before Alex. Not Alex first and then Mariam. No, Mariam first. And then Alex. And then everybody else. Why? Because this way, I can actually do something for myself. If I cannot do something for myself, can I give it to Alex? How can I be in a very good condition and I'm just, oh my God, drowsing around and not know what to do? And I'm like, and then I start screaming at Alex. Why? Because I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not looking after Maryam, you know?
Yeah, but I hope you guys are taking notes. Just like, I hope you're taking a lot of notes, because here's the thing. Maryam said something extremely important, right? Like, how are you supposed to actually help your kids? Like we just talked about kids. Maryam helps a lot of women, right? How are you supposed to help your kids? How you're supposed to help your husband if you're not in the best condition yourself? Maryam talked about health just now, right? If I'm going to die at a heart attack of age 40, how is that supposed to help Maryam? Because I didn't take care of my health. How is that supposed to help my future kids? I won't even be able to have kids if I die too soon. Right? That's a problem, right? You guys have to take care of yourself first. Okay? Your mentality too. If your mentality is trash or you're working at a job that you hate, how does that affect your family? Right? You bring it home. You don't just leave it at work. You bring it home and complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have a bad day at work, your manager, your line manager, your employee, your employees, or your employers, or your colleagues, right? You bring all that home and complain about it because you're not actually living your purpose. Right? That is trash. Right? Like you're bringing trash back into your home, and your home is supposed to be a beautiful place where you guys are all together and aligning and all living your purpose and, all a part of something, the family unit, right? Building something together. That's how it's supposed to be. But instead you bring everything home and complain about it, right? Because you're not putting yourself first. You're thinking about your family. Oh, I don't have time for that because I have to spend time over here. Oh, I don't have time to go to the gym, or I don't have time to live my purpose. You come up with all these excuses. Okay, and let me share something with you. Your excuses could be legit. They may be legit, but they're never, ever going to improve the quality of your life, ever. Your excuses will do nothing for that, okay?
100%.
So what Maryam said she mentioned health, and like your health is going to be a part of your family too. So by putting yourself first, you're actually going to help your family in a bigger way.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me that we are actually took point 1 and two together.
Yes.
Because you're living with yourself. So for those who are tuning in, this is Clear and Conquer Live. We come to you guys every single Tuesday at 12 p.m. Miami time. That's 12 p.m. Miami. That's 8 p.m. Dubai. So that's number 1. So you always live with yourself. And the second thing is you can't. It's not gonna happen. Like when you think that, oh my gosh, I'm putting everybody else before me and I'm gonna then take care of myself, that's not gonna happen. You want the proof? Look how it's been working for you. For those who are putting everybody else ahead of you, how has this been working for you? You will notice it's not working as you want it to work. And maybe it's hard to confront for some of you guys, but this is how number 1 and number 2 goes together. I think we should go to number 3.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So to not be taking advantage of, right? By putting yourself first, you allow yourself to not be taken advantage of by everybody around you. Now, I'm not telling you to play a victim game here, right? I'm not telling you to play the poor me game. Oh, I always get taken advantage of. This always happens to me, like the poor me. I'm not telling you to go down that road because that's a terrible road to go down. I'm telling you to put yourself first and basically your ability to just put yourself in your dreams, your goals, your authentic self, right? Instead of putting everybody else first, right? So when I wasn't putting myself first, I would get stepped on by everybody. I would get used and abused, right? And I would allow myself to get made fun of. For example, when I wouldn't stand up for myself because I didn't want to hurt their feelings, I didn't want to push back. I just wanted to keep the peace, right? I didn't want to push back. I didn't want to say anything, because I just wanted to keep the peace. I didn't want to have a conflict. I didn't want to put myself in that situation. So I'd stay quiet. Even when I was very uncomfortable, even when they were putting me down and degrading myself, right? Even when they were being terrible to me, ditching me, like I said earlier, telling me to do things that I didn't want to do, like I said earlier, right? I would do those things anyways, okay? And that is not going to get you absolutely anywhere.
Wow. 100%. And maybe some of you guys, maybe that was you in the past, but doesn't have to be you from now and forward, unless you want to be stepped on still. You know, it's not a very nice feeling to someone to take care advantage of you. And again, the worst thing is you make a party out of it. As in, you keep talking, oh my gosh, so and so took advantage of me. My husband, the one who I married, I trusted him and he took my money. Okay, that happened in the past, but then you didn't put yourself first. It's not a very good feeling when you don't. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze.
God bless you.
Thank you. Okay, so it is. So when so you're gonna be taken advantage of. You know. Yep. Maybe you should be, if there is no exchange, we talk about this all the time. If this is a relationship, there is no exchange, and I'm not talking exchange in money. Like, for example, Alex is doing something. I cannot just allow Alex to do everything, take care of the house, take care of the business, take care of everything. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be sitting here as a princess. I don't feel of a value. I feel like me and the wall are the same thing, right? But when you look after yourself and there is an exchange, and you don't be taking advantage of. You think about it as, oh my gosh, there's an exchange. I actually can help someone here. I can look after someone here. I can support someone here. I can be there for them. But there's some kind of an exchange. Even when we do free events, right now, maybe some of you guys are watching us. There's an exchange. What is the exchange? Your time. We're giving you our energy. You're giving us your time. There's an exchange. You know, when we're doing a service, helping people find their purpose. Okay, you have my time. Give me $1,000 each. Right? So this is what you do. Again, it's whatever it is. It's like there is some kind of an exchange in between. Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
100%. No, 100%, Miriam. And by doing things that, you know, when you're allowing yourself to get stepped on, when you allow that, you're degrading yourself. Like, you're actually thinking lower of yourself. Like, you are literally putting yourself down. You're allowing that to happen because guess what? You're in control of what you say back. Like, and obviously you don't just like yell at someone or get like irate or anything like that, but you stand up for yourself, right? Like if someone just brought a bag of trash into your house, right? They're just like bringing a bag of trash, like a legit bag of trash. Imagine one of your friends or one of your family members even bring this big bag of trash. It's stinky. And they bring it in there and then they leave it there. And then, you know, they talk to you for a little bit and then they just leave the trash there. Next day they come in and do the same thing, right? Because you're allowing it, right? They come in and bring this stinky bag of trash into your home. And you're just like, I don't really like this. This is like disgusting. It's terrible. But you're keeping the peace. So you just kind of allow it to happen. You guys don't do that, do you? You don't allow someone to bring trash into your house. So why do you let people bring trash into your brain? Like, why do you let people bring trash into your life?
Wow. Yeah.
Right? People do it all the time and you allow it. Stop allowing that to happen. You are literally bringing yourself down. That's what you're doing. You're not thinking highly enough of yourself to even say something. Wow. And I used to never say anything. Oh my gosh, I would never say anything because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. I just wanted to keep the peace. I didn't want to, be mean or whatever my preconceived ideas were. Right. And I was the most unhappy person on this planet because of that, because I would allow these things to happen. And it's one of the reasons why I became so depressed, because I was just allowing people to just punch me in the face and bring me down, snoop me down to their levels. I was allowing all of that to happen instead of standing up for myself and not be taken advantage of.
And there is nothing wrong with say, I put myself first. We put our God first, but that's a different conversation. But between us and a human, we put ourselves first. I cannot help you guys find your purpose if I don't invest in myself first, get the information and knowledge to help you even more advance your purpose. Mm-hmm. Same thing, like and again, if I say, for example, this actually happened years ago. A friend of mine wanted to go into she wanted me to go to a party with her, and I wanted to go to an event, But she said, oh no, Maryam, I don't have anyone to come with me. Please come with me. I really need you to come with me. And I'm like, okay. So I ditched my event to go with her. Years later, I wanted her to come with me for an event. She said, oh, sorry, Maryam, I have a proper prior engagement. How do you think I felt at that time? I was not putting myself first. So when you don't put yourself first, don't expect other people to put you first. Do not expect other people to consider you, to respect you when you are disrespecting yourself and you're putting yourself last. I mean, to be honest with you, when I hear someone say, "Oh my gosh, you know what, Mariam, I have to look after my business and my line manager. You know, my line manager has to go on a holiday. All my colleagues, they go and they dump their work at me. You know what? I'm a great team player." That's not a great team player. When they go, do you actually do their work? Do they actually do your work? This is a very hard thing to confront, guys. But again, do you actually do that? Do you actually help people to actually understand and do that? So
Crazy.
that's number 3.
You want to go to number 4?
I would love to go to number 4. So number 4, guys, which is again, why should you put yourself first, and why is it so important? It's because this will completely boost your confidence. How? When you put yourself first, you start working on yourself first. You start talking about self-development, right? I think I was sharing this with our accountability group the other day. We have our accountability group, our 365 family, where we hold them accountable for a whole year. Okay. So there was a question that they were saying here. I was like, if you want to go ahead and make sure that you are doing something bigger in your life, that you're doing something massive as in 10x, you should continue investing in yourself as in self-development. People who bash or talk bad about self-development, they are one of 2 things. There are people who don't know what self-development actually means, or they have a misconception about it because of a personal experience. You know, some people come to us, how do we know it's gonna work? We work with a lot of trainers before, where we're not like everybody else. Let's give us a chance, right, to help you and to help you actually do that. But again, self-development, the more you work on yourself, the more confident you become. The more you work on yourself, the more confident you become. Imagine you are advancing your communication. You're learning how to be present. You know how to talk to people. You know how to negotiate. You know the sales game. You know how to close people. You know how to help people. You know how to communicate to people. You know how to speak to people. You know how to address to people. You know how to grant someone their beingness. When you actually do that, how confident will you be? You're going to be more confident because you are now putting yourself first. You go ahead and invest in yourself. You work on self-development, although some people will tell you not to work on self-development. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know if it's in the dictionary, but for me, the definition of self is soul. Soul development. Myself, my soul, me. I'm putting myself first. For how long are you going to put yourself second? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people who put themselves second, or they don't even prioritize themselves, they're not as confident.
Yeah.
They're not as confident. You know, when you put your husband ahead of your needs, if you put his needs ahead of your needs, like you don't look after yourself, you only are looking after him. You're only looking after your children. You let yourself go. And then you say, oh my gosh, it's because of marriage and blah, blah, blah. He's cheating on me, blah, blah, blah. So he's cheating on you. He's not. That's a different conversation. But the idea is you neglected yourself. You stopped looking after yourself, developing yourself, looking after yourself, physically, mentally, going to a spa, doing something for yourself, even in business. You know, you are in partnership with someone, but you put their needs ahead of you. How powerful do you think you are?
Wow.
When you are in that situation, when you put a business partner ahead of you, it's a partnership for a reason. Like you are doing something together, not apart. Not like when someone is doing more than the other. Alex and I were running this company. Responsibility is half-half. He has a certain part of the business he's looking at. I have certain part of the business I'm looking at. And I'm like, I say, because I'm a woman, you take 70% of the work. I don't have the physical thing. No, it's not that. It's just, again, it is us as a couple working together, and our relationship is separate. It's something else. Our business is something else. And it's very hard. Okay, go ahead.
But that's all right. That's all right. And actually, by doing these things, it gives us more confidence.
100%.
Mariam said something very important that I hope you guys took notes on, right? If you had the ability to speak confidently in front of other people, and the speaking and communication, you had that in place, you would be confident in front of every conversation. But see, what happens is that you don't work on yourself ever. So you never become good at communication. So the reason why when you go to parties, you go to the mall, you go to different places, you don't know how to talk to people, that's because you never worked on yourself. You never put yourself first to even do that, right? You don't have the communication game down, right? That's a problem, okay? No wonder you're not confident, because you don't know how. The only reason why someone would not like something is because they don't know enough about it. Right? I don't know much about being a veterinarian. I don't work on animals, right? And there's a reason for that, because I don't know how. And I also don't have any interest in it as well, right? So I'd never found out how. So like, obviously that wouldn't make any sense. You guys, you have a passion for communication, but you never work on it, right? You want to talk to other people. You're like, it would be great to do that. But then I come up with all these excuses, and I don't have any time, and I have to take care of my kids. I have to do all these other things for other people. And then you never get better yourself, right?
Wow.
So confidence is going to come from putting yourself first. The only time I started gaining confidence was when I actually started working on myself. I'm like, okay, this is enough. I am sick of not being confident. I'm sick of living this type of life. I am going to start working on myself, right? And by the way, I had to make some sacrifices. I had to start pulling away from some friends that didn't want me to work on myself. Like, they didn't want me to become better. And later on, I realized these are not my friends.
True.
Okay? Like, I'm like, oh, this doesn't make any sense, actually. I'm getting better, and they're putting me down. They're trying to pull me back towards their level again, right? Those are not my friends, okay? So confidence came from me starting to put myself first. That is where it came from.
Let's go.
Like, that decision to start putting myself first, working on myself, being a better version of myself, being my authentic self, and living my purpose, it came from putting myself first. It did not come from putting everybody else first. That doesn't make any sense. Otherwise, if I do that, I'm never going to have time to work on myself. If I actually only put all the people first, I'll never be able to work on myself. And like we said earlier, I won't actually be able to make impact on this planet, because I am a liability to everybody around me. I'm a walking, like, loser, basically, is what you could call it, right? I was being a loser because I chose to be a loser. Like, I chose to not ever work on myself, not develop myself, not be confident. Those were my choices, right? But eventually I had to realize I need to put myself first. I need to start winning in life so I can feel better and more confident, so I can help other people win. Only when I help myself did I actually start making an impact. Before that, I was not making an impact at all.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, when guys, again, a moment of reflection. Do you have someone in your life right now who is trying to pull you down, or not, or trying to devalue you developing yourself to become more confident? You don't have to answer and share it with us right now, but you have to be very honest with yourself. You have to be very honest with yourself when it comes to that as well. That's amazing.
Yeah, I want to make one more point too.
Yes.
Only when I started working on myself did I find Miriam. Okay? Like, I had to actually work on myself before I would even be, or Miriam would, like, I would even be attracted to Miriam, right? Like, Miriam, right. Like, I had to work on myself first before Miriam would even be interested in even talking to me and having a conversation, right? You guys complain about, oh, there's nobody out there. There's nobody out there. What do you even want? Have you even worked on yourself first, right? Like, have you actually worked on yourself so you can be an asset to them?
Right.
Or is it only about you taking from them? Because that's not putting yourself first. That's called being selfish.
Right.
There's a difference. That's could be called being arrogant and ignorant. Okay, there is a huge difference between the two. Putting yourself first and being arrogant, ignorant, and selfish, completely different. Okay, so I just want to separate the two. I just want to make that point, though. In order to find Miriam, I had to put myself first.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me now that I think of it. When I decided to put myself first as well, and know what I want, not putting other people ahead of me. I was before putting other people ahead of me because I wanted to give people chances. Oh, they're my friends. They're someone who helped me before. Oh my goodness, that person should be ahead because of whatever reason, until it's not a good reason, right? And I remember, like, now that you say this, with the minute I put myself first, and I looked after myself and going back to my true authentic self, who I truly am, I connected with Alex. Literally a week later. That's insane, because this way you see what you need to see, not what you want to see.
Wow.
And there is a difference between wanting to see what you want to see or what you need to see, because you need to see something, it's not what you need to see. So that's why I always say, when you find your purpose, you stop going for what you want and you go after what you deserve. And there's a difference.
Write that down.
That's again when we help people find their purpose, we say this to them all the time.
Yeah, 100%. So boosting your confidence is going to be an effect off of putting yourself first. The next point that we want to go over by putting yourself first is it allows you to keep going towards your goals by saying no. Okay, guys, the holidays are coming up. Okay, you're going to have a lot of temptations to get completely pulled off track for a week, for a month, for a very long period of time. Now, I'm not saying don't hang out with family. Okay. But do not get pulled completely off track for the next 2 months. Like some of you probably already have. Oh, it's Halloween now, right? So for the next week, I need to prepare for Halloween, right? That's putting everybody else first and not your dreams, okay? Allowing yourself to say no. This has been, oh my gosh, this was a game changer for me. My ability to say no. Even... let's take it a step higher. You might be thinking of some obvious things. You even have to say no to some opportunities.
Let's go.
Okay? Some things that are not aligned with you. Now, I have been offered multi-level marketing positions. I've been offered to go take positions for, at a time I was making 100,000, okay, in the past, and I was offered $250,000 for something, okay? Now, I said no to that opportunity because it wasn't aligned with my purpose, right? It wasn't aligned with who I am. Guys, we said it earlier. Putting yourself first, by definition, means to cause oneself to appear to be, right? Cause oneself to appear to be a particular type of person. Now, are you choosing to say yes to other people to be more like them? Or are you saying no to be more like yourself?
Let's go.
Which one is it?
Now that's deep.
Yes, it is.
Now that is very deep. Like, do you have a problem saying no? When you say yes to everyone, you say no to yourself. So which one do you want to say no to? You want to say do you want to say no to other people, or so I say no to yourself and to your dreams? I used to say yes all the time at work when I was working before in banking and stuff. Anyone who leaves, oh, Maryam, I'm leaving on a holiday. Can you please do my work? Yes, I can. I don't have. It means I will have to stay late. Or someone says, oh, Maryam, I have to leave late, early. My goodness, I have this thing going on. Okay, let's do it. But by the end of the day, what happens to me? I'm the one who's suffering. I'm the one who has to stay late. I'm the one who's taking the burden. And I'm the one who's not being recognized for the hard work I've been doing. And that sucks. It's not nice. Oh my God, everybody's taking advantage of me, and I'm not looking after myself. I'm not looking after what I'm supposed to be doing for myself and for my dreams. And I'm allowing everybody to just literally take a piece of me without an exchange. So when I learned to say no, Maryam, we're going to go to a party. I'm sorry, I'm not going. Sometimes I don't even say sorry. Oh no, I'm not coming. Auntie, she used to take me to all these weddings, my goodness. Every weekend there is a wedding. I used to go with Auntie all the time. Oh, Maryam, there is so and so is getting married. I used to go, yes, I'm going to come with you. And then that started after I found my purpose. It was easier. When you find your purpose, it's easier to make the right decisions.
Yes.
So I would say, no, Auntie, I'm not coming. Maryam, they will ask about you. They will be, where is Maryam? Say, tell them she's working on her PhD, right? So I would say no. When I go to, if someone wants me to go out for like a cup of coffee, which lasts for 4 hours, I say no. When someone is now, even like going back to your point, I was offered to be CFO of certain companies because I have a finance background. I said no, right? Some people in the past week, like there's a specific organization that has been trying to hire me, and I said no. It's hard, guys, but it needs to be done. What if I say yes for someone else, but I'm saying yes to them, but no to me? I rather say no to them and yes to me.
Mhm.
Now that's where the difference is. It takes courage to say no, but you should know what you should say no to and what you should say yes to.
Yes.
And there's a huge difference there.
100%. And by the way, what Miriam is also saying here is, like, when you know your purpose and you're aligned with it, you know what to say no to. Like, you're going to be, especially when you really start moving in momentum and you're living your purpose, there's going to be so many flashy things that come in your way that are going to be looking like opportunities, right? Get rich quick. Oh, you can make an extra commission over here. You can start a multi-level marketing company over here. Bitcoin, you're going to make 1,000% return on your money in 2 days, right? And you're like, oh, wow. But when you're aligned with your purpose, you're like, no. You know, you like literally turn down like what they would look like opportunities because you are in momentum with your purpose instead. Okay? You're also saying no to the wrong people when you're living your purpose. Okay? You're also saying no to bad decisions when you're living your purpose. You know, I saw you trying to pick up that ice cream container there. I see that, right? Like you're saying no to things when you're aligned with your purpose, right? Like you're saying no to the wrong people, okay? But when I didn't know my purpose, I was saying yes to things that completely didn't serve me. And I could list on and on and on and on. I could spend the next 1 hour telling you different things in my life that I said yes to that completely destroyed me. I can tell you for the next hour stories of people that I said yes to that completely stepped all over me. Guys, when you start living your purpose, like Miriam said, you stop going after what you want. You stop going after what you want and you start going after what you deserve. Because you deserve more than to get stepped in the face everywhere that you go. You deserve more than to be the little servant, maybe even in your family, right? Like you deserve more than just going after this little thing, okay? God did not create you for something little, okay? He created you for something extremely massive. And all you have to do is you have to keep on going towards that massive thing and never quitting. I did not say that this is going to happen in 10 days, right? I did not say once you start living your purpose, you're just going to figure everything out. I did not say that. But you are going to start making the right decisions. And I'm going to use something from Elena. Every single decision, whether big or small, is either building your empire or destroying it. Every single one of them. The big decisions, the ones that are really big, life-changing decisions, and the little ones are either doing one thing or the other. It's so simple. It is either building your empire or destroying it.
That's very powerful.
Yeah.
So learn how to say no, and you will know what is the right decision for you.
Yeah.
Just learn the skill. I mean, maybe you grew up in a certain society or around a group of people who tells you to always say yes. But there is power in saying no to something that is not serving you, or it's not serving you anymore. You know, a certain relationship, a group of friends, whatever it is. Okay, it's amazing. We've been aligned, but then now we don't see an alignment. It's time to go. And no to that relationship, no to that partnership, no to that environment, no to that growth or that degree that doesn't serve me anymore, right? So that's amazing. So we go to number 6.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I can go, yeah.
Go for it. Yeah, go for it, yes.
So number 6, the reason why you put yourself first, this is what we're talking about today. And by the way, so every single day, I just want to tell you guys, we go live here and share this information with you for free. Every single Tuesday, not every single day, sorry. Every single Tuesday at noon Eastern. See, this is why I have an accountability partner right here, my wife.
Learning from you. Okay.
Noon Eastern and 8 p.m. UAE time. So we're bringing you this type of information because we know it's going to change your life as long as you apply it. Okay, so number 6 is going to be your needs are important as well. Okay, how many times have you put everybody else's needs first and then you completely forget about yours? Right? You're not putting yourself first. That's why. You're putting everybody else's needs and wants before yours. Yeah. And no wonder you feel like crap all the time. Like you're not excited. You're not even in the right career path because you're just kind of doing it for the paycheck, for the family. You're just kind of flying through life and One of our friends, Amira, just posted something today, and it's a statistic and study that says 46% of your time in life is spent coasting. Like you're not even there. You're not present. Almost half of the time you're not there. And the reason for that for most people is they're not living their purpose. You're putting all of your friends' needs, all of your family's needs, your kids' needs, and everybody else before yourself. It comes back to what we were saying in the beginning. This is why your health is terrible. This is why you're not in the right career. This is why you're not living your purpose, because you're putting everybody else's wants and needs before yours. Everybody. Like, in fact, you're not a best friend to yourself. You're not even a friend to yourself. Guys, would you treat other people the way you treat yourself? Like, I don't really matter that much. I'm just going to wait on my own dreams, That's what you're kind of saying to yourself. Maybe not out loud, but that's pretty much what you're communicating to yourself. Wow. You're like, I'm not good enough. And where I see this the most is they use the family as the excuse, right? When you should be doing these big dreams and goals for your family.
100%.
You should flip the script here a little bit. You should be doing all these things for your family. And then everybody wins, right?
Yes. Yeah. I love that, guys. I hope you're taking notes, because this is literally
we got to cut out what you said earlier too. I don't even remember what it was, but it was fire. And I think it was a piece of genius that you tapped into.
Oh my God.
I don't remember what it was, but you said something. It was about the saying no. What was it? We got to clip it out.
When you say no to them, you say yes to yourself. If you say yes to them, you say no to yourself.
Yeah.
There was another one.
Along those lines.
Anyways, we're gonna find clip it and share
I was
it,
just
guys.
like, yes.
So the last thing I would like to, for the last point, you need to your needs are as important as well. Again, I cannot. I used to work in aviation, okay, and maybe it's something that you guys don't understand when they say, oh, you have to put your if there's in case of an emergency, you have to put the mask on your on yourself first before you help someone else. Now, when they say that, not because they're selfish, I'll give you an example. Imagine many people, no, my child is first. My child is first. How can I look after my child? And they start being defensive. They don't understand the mechanics of this. When you put what do you call them?
It's an oxygen mask.
Oxygen mask. My goodness. When you put the oxygen mask, why do you have to put the oxygen mask? Listen to this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
If I put it on my son before I put it on myself, I might pass out, because this could happen in a second. Like, you could pass out and you're not even going to help your children. You put the mask on them, but then the mask is not on you. So they are going to be there without you. You are passing out. So when you put the mask on yourself first, you protect yourself, and then you put it on your kids, because now you have protected yourself. If you're going to put it on your kids and then you're going to put it on yourself, how do you know you're going to get yourself? It takes seconds.
You both die.
Okay, you said.
Yeah.
I mean, you're both gonna get no oxygen. And by the way, this could happen in seconds. They will not tell you like in a briefing, oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're having an emergency. It doesn't happen like this. It just happens like a drop. Masks. Like, this is how it happens. And then you put it on yourself first before you put it on kids. Because if you don't do that, everybody loses. Everybody loses, guys. Everybody loses. And this oxygen mask can last for like 10 minutes only. So imagine your kids without you for 10 minutes, and then what's gonna happen? Right? So your needs are important as well. If you don't look after yourself, if you don't look after your needs first, you cannot help other people. And even if you are helping them to a certain extent now, you're not going to be able to help them more.
Yeah.
You think, I'm going to tell you the reason Alex is an asset in my life is because he's putting himself first. He's looking after his needs. He's looking about his self-development. He's looking after himself. He's looking after like his growth, his development, his confidence, and then he can take care of Mariam. He's an asset, not a liability. What's the point of you being an asset to someone and someone else is a liability to you? There's no fair exchange there.
Yeah.
There's no fair exchange there. So your needs are important as well, guys. My needs are important as well, guys. And sometimes making a decision like this, when you put yourself first, some people thought I was selfish for marrying Alex. Oh my God, Maryam, you didn't consider your society. Oh my God, Maryam, you didn't consider your whatever. Well, I put myself first. People will not live for me. I want to live for myself, and I'm putting, like, I ask God for a good man, that he's a woman, he's a man of faith, excuse me, he's a man of faith, he put God first, he's good to his parents, he is ethical, he's respectful, he's caring, he has a purpose, and so on and so forth, and then he happened to be an American. And not because some people in my society or in my part of the world will be like, why are you marrying an American? Oh my God, I wish if he was an Arab. It doesn't matter if he was an Arab and an American. He is the guy for me. So I put my needs first. Imagine if I was considering everybody's feeling. I wouldn't be married and having successful business with Alex right now. I would be satisfying someone else's need, because if I didn't marry Alex, I would be saying no to myself and yes to other people. But I said yes to me. Maybe some people didn't like it. That's not my problem. Because I'm living life. Yesterday I was speaking to my friend Arya. Shout out to Arya. She's like, you did it. I lived life the way I want to live it, the way I choose to live it. I'm not breaking any rules. I'm not being unethical. I'm not being a bad person. I'm doing things for myself, for my betterment, for his betterment, for the betterment of a human being. That's why I said yes to myself first. I said yes to Maryam. I said yes to my purpose. I said yes to my decisions. I said yes to my marriage. I said yes to my business. I said yes for my freedom. I said yes for my choices. That's what I say yes to. I don't say yes to other people's perspective, because people perspective changes every single day. And it takes courage. Yes, it takes courage to go after something that you actually deserve. So your needs are important too.
Wow. Again, I hope you're taking a ton of notes. Like, Maryam, just like, okay, so there's certain points in these lives. You guys should go watch the ones that we have recorded on our YouTube channel, which is just Maryam and Alex Astapel. Because there's certain points in these lives where we just like tap into something, and it's not even coming from us at that point. It's coming straight from God.
It's flowing.
Yeah. And like, that was one of those moments. And God did not create us to be under the opinion of another person. He created us to be under God. Okay, so if you keep on listening to a whole bunch of humans that are flawed, that have problems, that have issues, that have wrong ideas, wrong opinions, wrong definitions, and aren't straight from God, then you're not listening to God, you're listening to people. I hope you understand that the next time you listen to a whole bunch of other people's opinions. Now, God speaks through people all the time, and like, it's not like you can't listen to people, obviously, but you should really ultimately be taking your advice straight from God, right? And when Maryam made the decision, when I made the decision to get married, we were talking to God, not other people. Just so everybody's extremely clear on that. Like, at a certain point, I started choosing to put God first. That's a whole nother conversation. That's ultimately what we put first. But as humans, we put ourselves first, okay? But at a certain point in my life, I'd started just deciding to put God first all the time, instead of trying to please humans. It's insanity, because I'm never going to please everybody. So I'm acting upon insanity. Guys, you want to know the definition of insanity? I say it all the time. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You keep on trying to please everybody, and they're not pleased still, but you're expecting them to be pleased. It's a losing game for everybody. You lose, right? So when you might think this is crazy, but when you start putting yourself first, your dreams first, your purpose first, not only do you get better, not only does your family get better, your kids, their life gets better. Not only does your community get better, but the whole planet, all of humanity gets better.
100%.
Because you put yourself first.
Wow.
And we're going to end it there.
Yeah, and I think it's a good way to end it here, guys. So this is, again, today's topic. This is a Clear and Conquer Live, guys. We come to you every single Tuesday. at 12 p.m. Dubai time. 12 p.m. What's wrong with me today? At 12 p.m.
Nothing's wrong with you.
Nothing is wrong with me. Yes. What's up with me today? Let's put it this way. I need more coffee. So we come 12.
That's my fault.
Yes. I take full responsibility too. So it's at 12 p.m. Miami. That's 8 p.m. Dubai time. We come to you guys every single Tuesday where we share with you practical information on how to go ahead and take knowledge and do something with it that is related to your life or to your business.
Yes.
Put yourself first, guys. My challenge to you guys for this week: put yourself first, and you're gonna notice how many things get in alignment with you and certain things that are not in alignment with you. Things are not in alignment, let it go. Things are in alignment, embraces. And that happens when you put yourself first. Let's go.
100%. Be great, everybody. And by the way, if you need help from us, go ahead and go to clearandconquer.com/contact. And you can leave us what you need help with. It's clearandconquer.com/contact. And we will be able to find the way to help you best, okay? Because there's not just one way to help you. So if you describe to us how we can, or how you need help, we'll reach out and help you, of course. But you have to make that decision to maybe even put yourself first in that moment.
Let's go.
And reach out, okay? And again, like Miriam said, we go live every single Tuesday at 12 Eastern, 8 p.m. UAE time. I hope you enjoyed this. Be great, everybody. And
let's go, guys. Have a good one.
See you later, everybody.